Wait, is he switching lanes?
He just hit 6. Stumon with those 2 early kills and the assist has his ultimate quicker than usual, and with Hans waiting in the alcove, KC are pounced on. G2 find their prey, and Busia will not live.
Rel no flash. No flash. Rel no flash. Kill Rel. Kill Rel.
Nice, Isaac. Yeah. Go on, shot now.
Yeah, we can. Look Silas. Look Silas. I'm holding Silas. We have a mid wave. Don't back it. We have a mid wave. Nice.
Oh, Quadra.
Welcome back to Barcelona, where we are getting ready for Game 4. Something I think a lot of people after 10 minutes in Game 3 did not expect to happen. KC with a massive mental gap, in terms of how well they were able to play after being that far behind in Game 3 of a series. I was incredibly impressed by them in Game 3.
And it's something that we were talking about. It's like on both sides, the ability for anyone to step up and be that carry. It was Yehu who did incredible stuff on the Ahri. Busio again on these roams in the early stages to really solidify those leads for KC. And Yike taking some of the most, in my eyes, risky plays that really came up clutch for KC as well. It was a stellar performance from the trio on KC.
It really was. Really impressed by them overall. We'll see what they can do as we get into Game 4 draft. G2 picked first pick, KC picked red side, so for the first time today, we will see a normal solo queue draft. Like, blue side will have first pick.
This was game 1, Medic.
We will see for the second time today a normal solo queue draft. Aurora and Aphelios banned away by G2. KC going to get rid of the Azir. With the trend that is happening in this pick ban, Annie has to be the next ban here because we're going through all the A's.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was played today by Jovi, so that means that the entire mid lane pool is picking it up right now.
That's true, that's true. Varus instead, where we are going to go with that ban. And we'll see where G2 decide to go with their third. First time they've had first pick through this whole series. A reminder, we are in Fearless. That means all of those champions above the draft on your screen cannot be played again. They've already been played once. Lulu, the ban by G2.
So, 80 carries.
Yunara.
Yunara indeed.
Oh, good job. Yeah, nice call actually. Yeah.
That is a scary champ. Are they going to ban that, KC? You going to ban that?
I feel like you have to. I feel like you have to. Is that where KC are going to say, we'll give it to you. Nico the ban. G2, you got to feel, it's just the preemptive first pick here.
Is it the devil's fruit, is the question. Does it look too supple? Perhaps it is a trap that has been laid. No, they're just going to take a big old chunk of that, all right.
There we are. That little bite of the fruit. Nothing went wrong with that, let's be honest. KC will look to dive into it.
Yeah, Zyrakan is available. It looks like that is the direction that KC's considering with Yike's Vi. Now, Yike does have a bit of stigma around his Vi, but his Vi was awesome yesterday. And so far in playoffs, it's been a pretty strong pick for him. So he's definitely getting away from that stigma. The response now, though, it was G2 that banned the Lulu away themselves, which means that what else can they pair alongside? Bard is gone. Nami's gone, there's no Lulu. Is it like, do you forego enchanters and then instead just pick something melee?
No, there we go.
You go for a different enchanter.
Interesting. So Renata is good into the Rakan, but like, traditionally, I feel like you want something for Yunara that's like more enabling her attack speed. So at least you do get some sort of enchanter with her. But I think it is just more a case of, rather than the actual pairing, playing for the dive that is coming through on KC.
That's the thing. I think Renata just works so well into dive. And you've already got Xin Zhao, who also works well into dive because he can use that Crescent Guard to reset the fight. Keeping the Yunara safe and then having that disengage the Xayah, no real surprises that KC have decided to lock that in for their third pick. But I really like the Renata. I think, as you say, it does kind of work okay into the Rakan. It's not the best. Rakan can find good flanks, and assuming he doesn't come from straight on and the Vi is coming from a different sort of pincer movement, it's hard for the Renata to immediately just lock someone out of the fight.
Yeah, I think it's just more in the lane if Rakan goes for the grand entrance. I've seen the handshake.
Yeah, you can handshake it out. 100% agree. 100% agree.
But I am now curious as to what do you pair with the Vi in the mid lane? Because like there's so many of those picks that I kind of traditionally see with the Vi that are already taken away. Like Azir banned, Talia gone, and a lot of those champions that can follow up effectively with her engage are already gone.
Carly.
Honestly, is kind of where my head was at. But I think it depends on the matchup, right?
Yeah, you can't really blind it. It depends how confident KC feels about flexing it to top lane. But there's no real needs. With Sion and Cassante gone.
Sion isn't gone yet.
Renekton?
Now it's gone, okay. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the different screen, the one that the audience... My bad. Kennen ban away.
The Kennen ban is surprising to me, because if I'm G2, I feel like that's good for me. Like, I've already got a lot of things I want to dive in on top of me, and Kennen kind of works well in that scenario. But maybe they're trying to open up for like a Gnar for Broken Blade. Ooh. Maybe they're Renekton.
LeBlanc, someone that can match the damage from the Vi and close the gap.
From Yahoo during the regular season.
He played really well on it, but he did end up losing.
Yeah, he built like a 50 CS lead. Okay, they're just going to go mega safe. All right, Victor, I mean, it's fine. Right now, the Rakan is the main follow-up on the Vi. With Ambessa gone, that's kind of one of the key combos I consider when paired alongside the Vi. So, yeah, right now they don't really have a huge amount of dive. They're playing very kind of front to back, and they've gotten rid of two of the biggest tanks. So I'm curious as to how Casey's going to round this one out.
Also curious where Broken Blade's going to go towards the top side, because the start of Casey's comp is looking dive, right? That Vi, Rakan, Renekton is the lock here for BB.
So now it's like a Gnar, right?
Yeah, probably a Gnar from Kana.
And then Caps into Victor, I mean, you probably just pick something. Well, I was thinking Syndra, but Syndra into Rakan Vi is really not fun.
Very low mobility on that mid laner.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Things out with a Gnar here. On paper, at least initial impressions, I do prefer what KC have brought to the table. I think that they would have a winning top side. I think that they would have easy plays around mid. Of course, Syndra can be super oppressive into a Victor if you're given that proper jungle support.
Yeah.
But I think that it's going to be Busio that has more roaming power on the Rakan, which we've seen is just like the winning formula for KC. Get Busio out on the map, get him helping Yikes set up plays. That is the formula for success when it comes to KC.
Yeah, I agree with you, Betty. I think what KC have drafted is really effective. And it kind of feels like for G2, they went for this attempted anti-dive. Like Syndra can, at times, play well with trying to get the scatter of the weaks as the rest of the dive tries to follow up on something like Yike. Same with Renekton being enabled as team jump into them. But it does mean that they're heavily reliant on trying to catch people with that Syndra stun combo to try and start fights, which is never really the best when you've already got a good amount of range with things like that Victor on the opposite side.
Do you know what I think, now that I've had a little bit more time to think about it, I think GT should have considered something like Ivern. Like Ivern plus the Yunara, make her the hyper carry when you've got Ivern plus Renata. But at the end of the day, we're in this draft now. We'll see if we go to a game 5, what direction we'll get. But right now, I do quite like the tools that KC have. And I just want to echo that sentiment that the desk shared earlier in the day, which is that KC look the best when they have the tools to make plays.
Yeah.
And their argument on the desk was that in game 1 and game 2, they didn't really have any tools. And a lot of that was because G2 shut them down in their response to the draft. But in game 3, we saw KC have the ability to make things happen on the map. And in game 4, I think they've drafted in a way that can do the same. Can they find those same opportunities against G2 again, though? Because G2, I mean, they've never been reverse swept in a finals, and they're not looking to start today.
Once more into the breach for G2 and KC. For KC, the end of a long weekend. 8 games before today, now cresting over 11 into their 12th in 3 days. For G2, they played 3. Gotta say something for being a little bit more rested. Came into the series very